I had to take a couple of hours, shall we say, to um, be able to converse how I'm feeling right now. I'm here to talk about the draw, which the Mariners got today against Port Vale. Dear oh dear oh dear, and I say that in the most positive way I could. Um, how have we drew that match? How did we draw that match? It the one against Harrogate kind of stung. This one does sting. Because it's right on, right at the very end, practically the last kick of the game. If I'm honest, that absolutely stings. If we look at how the Mariners lined up for today, it was three changes, and it came in place of Jake Eastwood in goal, Harvey Rogers, Doug Thorne, Terrell Warren was the other change, McEachran, Svan Thorson, Corey, Green, Hume, Rose, and Vernon. Vernon was more direct winger, more than they have him here as a 4-4-2. It was more a 4-2-3-1 type of, or more of a 4-4-2 kind of situation, and but obviously great to see Chaz get a start and Jake Eastwood. But I'll tell you something, this was a game that, like I say, got away from the Mariners really. We started great. The Mariners started great. We started to play some good stuff. Terrell Warren was solid at the back. We always look better when Terrell's in the team. I don't know why, but we always seem to look better. We looked okay, in the middle. We looked confident. Evan Corey doing his thing, shall we say? In the McEachran was breaking up play lovely in the first half, absolutely lovely. Harvey Rogers again doing some great work. Vernon on the wing was being an absolute pest towards Port Vale. They were struggling to deal with him, and that was great because on the first goal came on the 23rd minute as Danny Rose through one of Charles's amazing runs. He got a shot off, which their goalkeeper parried, and Danny Rose headed it for a little bit of an awkward angle for him into the back of the net for 1-0. And it was a great header for Danny, and to give the Mariners fans there, about the 1,800 that were there, an absolute bounce and a giddiness, I would say, really. It was a great rebound header by Danny Rose to put us 1-0 up. Vale did keep pushing though. They looked. There was a threat. I said they got dangers throughout the team really, but we were kind of keeping them at bay in the first half, keeping them at bay, and it was fairly good. They were having shots, but they were sort of long distance kind of shots, and it was not really troubling too much. Jake Eastwood came in, which I thought was the right decision for Jordan Wright. I think Jordan needed that step out. I think after conceding 4 against Swindon, and I'm going to talk more about how good I think Jake Eastwood was. He made a fine save from Nathan Smith in the first half. A cracking save by Jake, and he was commanding of his box most of the time when Jake came out. He literally he either caught it or commanded and made some good saves. We went in 1-0 up, and you're thinking, good half, good strong half, and then you're thinking, okay, Port Vale are going to come out second half, and the first 2 or 3 minutes they did. They came out and they really tried to stamp their authority. They had early, a couple of early again long distance chances, but again Eastwood was commanding in his box, coming out and claiming most things when he was looking for them, and Grimsby were awarded a penalty after Evan Curry got sort of shoulder barged in the box, but it definitely was a penalty. And down he went, and up stepped Danny Rose for the second goal of the day, right down the middle, no chance for their keeper. 2-0, and you're thinking, Mariners, just keep doing what you're doing. And you're thinking this is going to be a great win. And really, after that, you could see that the life drain out of Port Vale for quite some time, and it was everyone was struggling. Talaj was struggling. Talaj had one good chance in the first half, but that was skewed wide, even though the fans thought it had gone in. Their fans had gone in, but even with Eastwood's great save, our resilience was broken when Talaj struck the ball into the back of the net, past Eastwood, with only 12 minutes to go, and you're thinking, you're bracing yourself for a last stand finish, really. And Talaj, a real quality player, was playing non-league up to this season, and Port Vale picked him up, and boy oh boy has he been an important player for Port Vale. And you're thinking, oh no, not again, because obviously it happened against Harrogate. You're thinking, oh no, please. Then Eastwood making another fantastic save from Rico Richards, and you're thinking, what a save, what a game he had, and we had a gilt-edged chance, to be fair, to make it 3-1 when the returning Justin Abikwu was sent through. It was a great ball. Really, Justin don't feel like he should have done better with that. Ben Amos, the Port Vale keeper, was able to keep it out. And you're thinking, going into injury time, you're thinking, come on, you can hold on. Instead, it was not to be, as the Mariners conceded with practically the last kick of the game, and this is why I say this result stings even more. Jesse Debrah just sneaked the ball past Jake Eastwood for a late equaliser. But boy, that'll feel like 2 points drop that. But even though it was only a draw, we do end up back in the playoff places on 67 points because of Colchester's result against Doncaster. But this stings. This one hurts. That is the second consecutive away game where we've had a 2-goal lead and we've let it slip. We don't normally do that. We have kept up the record of scoring first and we've got something. But that is the second away game in a row where we've been 2-0 up and we've ended up with only 1 point when really it should have been 6. A couple of players that I will, though, trying to look positive here because I am fuming a little bit. The fact we should have held on for that, but you have to give Terrell Warren a lot of credit. I think we are better, like I said at the beginning of the video, we are better when Terrell's in the team. We look a lot more comfortable and look a lot more assured in the passing when Terrell's in there. And the subs that was made by Artell again didn't really work, but you've got to make them at some point because Port Vale, they were going to come at us at some point, and the changes he did make was Callum Ainley, Cam McJanet, Luca Barrington for George McEachran, which made that strange one to me. Obviously trying to show it up, obviously after making the slip up the week before against Harrogate, to do it again, unfortunately, is a right kick in the knackers. Really, it really was. And to be truthful, like I said, Terrell deserves a lot of praise. Vernon came in the first half and really did run Port Vale ragged. I think you have to give him, like Alex Van Dawson, put a shift in. I don't know about you guys, I'm not the biggest fan of his throw. I'm just not. I'm not a big fan of his long throw, but it was just a sickener. My man of the match, I'm going to give it to Jake Eastwood. Now, let me tell you, that is a performance where it's the kind of performance that when you've been out of the team for so long, you need to put in. And he's not at fault for any of the 2 goals that we conceded. Not at all. He could do nothing about either of them. But Jake Eastwood, for me, man of the match. I know a lot of people would give it to Danny Rose. Can't blame him. 2 goals, of course. But to be out the side since he got injured, obviously, and to come in and put a performance like that in after so long, it's bravo to Jake Eastwood because that was a number 1's performance. But I think it was the right choice by letting Jordan come out because there's no doubt his confidence would have been shot. And this, I'm sure, will frustrate the lads, and it should because, 2 times away from home now, back-to-back times we've been 2-0 up, and we've come away with 2 points rather than 6. But Jake Eastwood did nothing wrong in that game. He was commanding. He was pulled off some cracking saves. He was coming out. He was commanding the box. He was, everything you want your keeper to do, and it still was not quite enough. Obviously, having the players that Port Vale have got, they've shown the fight of a team that probably will end up in the top three now. I think. But boy, what an absolute kick in the wrong place. It's to be 2-0 up. Coasting, I would say, pretty much till Talage's goal. And having the chance for the Buku just before in injury time and not taking, it's just like, will that point, even though that puts us back in the playoffs, could that come back to bite us? That is the worry. That is the concern. And like I said, this is one of the main concerns. Yes, we've scored 61 goals, but they were our 66th goals of the season that we've actually conceded. That is why we're clinging on, is the goals conceded. How in the world we are up there with a goal difference that we've got, in a way that has to be commended in a sense. But I said this going from the last home game against Swindon and the one before that. This is going to go down to Wimbledon. I just feel it. This playoff promotion race is going to come right down to the final game of the season. It's just inevitable that it's going to happen. It's 67 points. We can't fault what the lads have done this season. Not at all. We can't fault it at all. But just those little things that are making you think, please don't let those kind of things cost us. I've tried to come on and tried to be as calm as I can. I'm glad I've come on later and done it, because I was absolutely deflated when that debrah goal went in. I was deflated. More for Jake Eastwood, because Jake Eastwood could literally do no more than what he did do. Absolutely no more than he did. And it's... People would look at it in general. People say it's a good point at Port Vale. And it is, but not the way we got it. In Artel's post-match with the club, he said, if you'd have said at this time last season that, hey, go at the start of the season, if you were to go into the last two games of the season knowing 2 wins will get you in the playoffs, you'd have taken that. And to be completely honest, he's right. He's right. We would have literally have taken where we are right now. It's just so disappointing when you know that you've had, 2 goal leads in the last 2 games and you've only come away with 2 points from the last 2 away games. Like I said, this is going to go down to the wire. I could hear all the Mariners fans on TV. They were loud, and obviously completely gutted to be leaving Port Vale with only a point when it probably should have been what it should have been, 3. But at the end of the day, again, it's game management. We just didn't see the game out, and then again, there is that saying of 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline in football, because it's one of those scorelines that you think you've done enough, and today was a prime example of it. You know, and Harrogate was. You know, they get a late goal, it can really swing them. But I think it's another point to the playoffs. But you know, it's 2 games left now. 2 games left in this season. If you were at Port Vale, let me know your thoughts and how deflated are you guys. We're bound to be deflated for this, but on the positive side, we're back in the playoffs. It's, as people say, it's back in our hands, really. But it's just so gutting. I'm not going to go in on the lads too much. I'd usually tirade at these kind of things. I'm not, but my God, we should have won the last 2 away games. You know, and that really does hurt to not do it. But if you did go to Port Vale, leave your comments down below for me. Like, share, subscribe, comment and all that good stuff. Are the Mariners going to do enough to get in to these playoff places? Are we going to do enough? Can we do enough? Let me know down below what you think. Are you going to Milton Keynes on Saturday? Fortunately, I won't be able to be at Milton Keynes. I've got a performance engagement on the Saturday night. But I'll be back with a preview for that, by the way, towards the end of the week. So do hit the bell button, that let you know when that gets uploaded. In the meantime, guys, leave your comments down below, leave your honest thoughts on that. The positive is it's another point. We're back in the playoffs again. Really though, we probably are going to need at least 4 points from the last 2 games to confirm it. I think minimum, if we're going to confirm it. 6 points would absolutely confirm it, but I think we need 4 points minimum, I would say, in the last 2. But leave your comments down below, all that good stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that bell button. That'll let you know when I upload the preview for MK Dons. In the meantime, guys, always a pleasure. Thank you to everyone that is subscribed and has stayed with me throughout this this season, and thank you for your continued support. Things are being worked on for new things coming up in the close season and going into next season. If you want to be involved more, do leave me a message or 2, and we'll get back and try and sort something and try and work something out. Why not? But in the meantime, guys, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you for the MK Dons preview later on in the week. I'll tell you what, being a Grimsby fan, it's not easy, is it? We never make it easy for ourselves. Onwards to Milton Keynes. I'll see you guys later on in the week. Until then, guys, up the Mariners. I'll see you next time. Wow. This is gonna be a 1-game shootout. I just feel it.